Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
To Podcast On, a monthly podcast with my sister Barb and me, Cynthia.
And we're from River City Yarns in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
That's right. And this is a podcast where we mostly talk about yarns and all the fun things that we're doing here in our store. But sometimes we get into the personal a little bit,
we
too.
segue a little bit.
So I have to say that I took our mom for a pedicure this week, and she's 91.
I thought she was 92.
She's, no, she's not yet.
Sorry, Mom.
I take her age and I subtract my age, and sometimes that gets difficult, but she's 91. And she did really well. She was, I think everyone's always surprised when we say she's 91 because she looks 10 years younger, really.
She does.
Yeah.
Well, I think she probably even looks a little bit younger than that. And she's still traveling.
Yes.
You know, she goes down to Palm Springs to the desert every winter.
Yeah.
From about October to March or April. And I really think that that's what helps keep her young.
Maybe.
You know,
Maybe
nice weather like that, you can get around and walk a little bit more. And
it's good genes too. I mean, we don't actually get gray in our family. We go white, but it takes a long time for that to show up. And I think those are some of the things that keep us looking youthful. Anyway,
and it's because I always carry a little bit of extra fat on my face.
Somebody told me this week that they like fat because it keeps the wrinkles from showing.
It's true.
So there you go.
If I was really skinny, I'd be really wrinkly.
That's true. Oh man,
you always want what you don't have, right?
I think so, and I'm listening to an audiobook right now by Tina Fey. And
the comedian.
Yes. Yeah. And she talks a lot about this too, about, how hard we are on ourselves, how we might as well, do the liposuction and get implants and, because that's sort of the expectation.
A little nip and a little tuck here and there.
A lot of nips and a lot of tucks.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
In order to live up to somebody else's expectation. But her point is, think about all the good things about yourself and take pride in those things. And don't feel like you have to be somebody else's picture of yourself.
Right. No, I don't want to be anybody else's picture. I just want my picture good. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
man.
True.
Yeah.
It's hard though, I mean, as you get a little older, you look in the mirror and see, a little a wrinkle here.
For sure. You watch the podcast after it's been aired and think, oh, that's right. Man, I wish we had that camera kind of up here looking down on us instead of straight ahead. Yeah.
Someone said, they saw me in the store this week and they said, oh, you look younger in person and thinner. No, they didn't say the thinner part. They just said younger.
So the thinner you added in there.
I added that one.
Oh man. Yeah.
Anyways.
It's what's on the inside that's important. You've got the ability to get around. You've got the ability to. I mean, we do a lot of stuff here in the store, especially. We're picking up boxes and hauling them around, and we're on our feet all day long, and we really do need to be thankful that we have we have the stamina for all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can still lift a box way over my head. All right, let's move on. Okay. What have we got on the agenda today?
Well, yeah. So I see you've got Flashmob on the list first. Do you want to start with Flashmob?
Do you want to?
Sure.
We could.
I mean, normally we start with works in progress and finished objects. So maybe we should back up a little bit and do that first. And I don't have any finished objects because all the finished objects I have are
Advent box projects.
Yeah. Samples. So I've been test knitting, test crocheting, designing, putting things into cute little patterns and things like that. So I can't show you any of that. So I don't have any.
I've been working on that too.
Objects.
And samples too for the store, right?
Right, yeah.
But I saw you have a whip.
Do you want
to just start on that?
Sure. These are this is a pair of socks that I'm making for my little buddy Hayden, my grandson. He's 3, and he's going to play school in the fall,
Right.
with his older sister. She's going to kindergarten and play school. So I told him I would make
Those
them
are
socks.
cute.
Yeah, and last
Where's
month
the heel?
it's not there yet.
Oh, okay. You're doing an afterthought?
I am, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so I just make a straight tube, and then when I get to the point where I'm going to put in the heel, I start to do 2x2 ribbing. So the heel will go in right underneath the ribbing there. And so I was showing Barb this earlier. So in order to get to get the right length on them, I had Hayden we traced Hayden's foot onto a piece of paper, and then he wrote his name above it so I wouldn't forget whose it was. And then this is Rachel's as well.
So
And,
this is your pattern.
this is my pattern. This is the length of their foot. But I also need this indispensable tool, which is called a sock ruler.
Your junior. I
because-
don't think we have any more of those.
Oh, no?
Juniors,
So
no.
these come in juniors, which has a baby ruler and a kid's or child size ruler, and then we have an adult ruler. And the adult rulers are really popular too. But this just helps you, to measure the length of the foot. But the great genius about these rulers is that you can slide them into your sock as you're working, and you can see how many inches you have completed. So that's really nice. And this was a bit of yarn that my friend Maureen gave me. This is Turtle Pearl from Ontario. She does striping yarns as well. And this one is, can you guess?
Sports team?
No, this is Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek, of
I
course.
think this one's Live Long and Prosper. So it's a Science Officer blue with 2 gold stripes for
The captain's
command. Yeah.
colors.
And then some black in there too for.
Oh,
Yeah, so
cute.
I made myself a pair of socks, and now Hayden's getting a matching pair. So it can be
So are you keeping these? I mean, these are like little works
forever.
of art.
yeah,
How cute is that?
yeah, they're really cute.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, I've got, last night I cast on for this pattern.
Right,
Holly
gumdrops.
Yo, gumdrop mittens. Get a close-up of that one. So we're going to Knit City in October, and we're going to be at Holly Yo's booth and knitting she's got I think she's told people about it, her new pattern collection or her relaunch. Maybe not. Anyways, Holly has some patterns that she's relaunching. And I think this is one of them. So I'm doing one in black and white in Epic. So this is the beginning of it. And it's this whole kind of polka dot theme. She calls it gumdrops. And in bright colors, that's exactly kind of what it looks like. I think it can have a polka dot effect to it too when you do it like in a black and white. And this one's done in our Epic yarn.
I really like that, Barb.
It's turning out I'm really liking it too.
And this is last night you did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take long, right? It's just round, round, round you go.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do a set of fingerless gloves, and then if I have time, I'll go back and do a pair of mittens.
Yeah. So you're doing an afterthought thumb. Yeah. And the pattern itself gives you directions for both fingerless mittens and for full mittens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's really
fun.
nice.
And I love the Epic yarn. It's just such a nice woolly wool. You can, you get a real nice product out of the end of it, and it's lovely to knit with.
Yeah, you get a nice rhythm when you're working on them. Yeah,
I love wool.
So this is a pattern. This may not be a pattern that Holly's relaunching. I think what she was telling us about is that she's going to take some of her kids' sweater patterns and maybe expand the sizes available on them.
Okay.
So that's part of her plan. And then she's got some patterns that are coming back to her from their exclusivity with other places. They're coming back to her, and she's going to relaunch them again. And then we're working with her to reknit some of the patterns that she's got in some of the yarns that we're taking with us to Knit City, like Epic and maybe some Eden We haven't quite decided what we're taking yet, but that's
You're going to work
idea.
on a piece too, right?
Yeah. I've got a hat that I'm going to do, and we'll wear when we're at Holly's booth in Knit City. And then she's got we've got a couple of other projects on the go with Holly, so that's all really exciting.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And if you're planning on being in Knit City, let us know. Come by her booth and look us up and say hi. Yeah.
Knit City's really big this year. They've
very
really,
large.
It sells out. The classes sell out in like overnight, or not
Right.
even overnight. They sell out immediately. But there are always tickets to the marketplace. So if you're not able to get into a class, you can still get into the marketplace, which is getting bigger every year as well.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a whip as well. I mean, you have a finished object as well.
I did. I finished off my capelet Deja Vu. So it's right behind us.
Your third capelet Deja
My
Vu.
third one. It's this one here. And this one was done out of this yarn. This is Noro.
Noro Kumo.
Kumo is the one that, Noro has two. One's called Sonata and the other's Kumo.
Right.
And
Kumo is viscose, cotton, silk, and wool. A nice, really nice blend.
Yeah, and this one is similar, only no wool. This is cotton, viscose, silk, and polyamide. And it was such a nice project to work on. I loved it. And I kind of stopped right here and started doing just the solid color. And then I ran out and it wasn't quite long enough. So I went back and just boarded it off.
Nice.
And I liked the effect of it. It was really nice.
So the original is patterned all the way down, and you decided to do it to give it a nice panel of this mottled mauve color. Yeah,
I didn't want to have to go into a fourth skein, so I was able to knit the whole thing out of 3 skeins, and I still had quite a bit of yarn left over.
Oh, that's great.
They're very generous in their yardage. 360 meters here.
Yes, and same thing on this one. Yep.
And
so
it's
they
a
go
little
well together.
Yeah. It's a little lighter than the Mirasol one that I knit first, but I think this is one of those versatile pieces. When you're color knitting, you can get a little bit of a thicker fabric anyhow, and so I think it works really well with a lighter yarn.
So this is your third capelet Deja Vu. Is there a fourth one on the needles?
Not yet. I'm giving it a little bit of a rest. I do have to move on. There's other projects that need attention.
Yeah. This is getting into our busy time. Yeah, we've got lots of.
We have a whole list of samples that we need knit up for fall. So, and I know I can't, push every project onto other people. I have to knit a few myself. Yeah,
but it's a lot of work, and so in between you try and squeeze in something that's that you can and go from there, right?
Yeah, and something fun. Those kids are going to love those socks for school.
Yeah, well, Rachel's very excited about her socks that were on display last month. That's the Jasper Town site, Flashmob, and so I made socks for Rachel, and she's asking me like, when am I going to bring them home? So when school starts.
Yeah.
So that gives me, I said, when I finish Hayden's socks, so maybe I'll just have to take my time on these ones. But anyway,
no, you'll have to take them home. Can she wear just one?
She probably would like to, because I don't know that she's really a sock kind of kid, but we'll see.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a really exciting flash mob this month. So maybe let's go right into that. Sometimes we leave flash mob till the end, but let's do the big reveal in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah. This month's flash mob comes to us from Kim from Flock Fiber. We said we kind of ran out of theme pictures, like we did this kind of theme in Alberta, and so I thought, wouldn't it be nice to do your birthstone and my birthstone?
Yeah.
They're really pretty birthstones. Yours is amethyst.
Yes.
And it's just a beautiful purple. And mine is peridot, and it's kind of a limey green. It can really change. It can be really pale, or it can be quite intense. It's for August, and Cynthia's is in February.
Right, yeah.
And so we gave her those 2 birthstones and said, create something for us. And so she did it. So here we go.
Oh.
This is Barb. This is her Take a Hike sock base. So we've had this before.
Oh.
And this is amethyst.
Or Cynthia. She's named it
This
Cynthia.
is Cynthia.
Yeah.
Done in amethyst.
That's
This
so
is Cynthia's birthstone
gorgeous
amethyst.
together.
Isn't that
And she's
pretty?
got some black speckles in there. It just are beautiful.
Mm-hmm. She does a really nice job of dyeing. And I kind of had a little heart flutter when I saw these because they were so pretty.
Yeah.
And then Cynthia, look what else she did for us.
Oh, it's a combo.
It's a combo. Well, you know, seems like you almost need threes in these nowadays.
Yes.
There's so many patterns that call for a third skein, something to, you know, pop either in the middle or on the end or the sides.
Wouldn't that make a gorgeous fade?
Yeah.
Look at those beautiful jewel tones.
Yeah, let's move her label down just
Yeah,
a bit too,
yeah.
so I can take this one.
Yeah. That is so gorgeous. Oh, Barb.
Yeah.
How are we going to actually let this go out?
I know.
Do you just want to grab it all up?
There you can see too where
Yes.
she's dyed it. Oh, Kim, this is so pretty.
It is. It is
How did
so
she
gorgeous.
get such teeny weeny tiny speckles? Kim, if anybody knows the answer to that, let us know. Or you have a theory. I think this is truly talent.
Yeah. I like it's almost like a gray in there, but I think it's just some of the lavender that's in here.
You know, Cynthia, this is the neat thing too. When you look at this gray, it looks like it's just on the surface of one part of the skein.
Right.
It's almost like it accidentally rubbed up against a black wall or something.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
It's going to look really neat knit up.
Yeah.
And then the purple has, I'm thinking like 6 different shades of purple in here.
I wonder if that's actually black in there or if it's just the intensity of the purple that's giving you those.
I don't know, but there's definitely a really cool
Let's open it
speckle
up
in here.
and look at it. Sometimes I think you have to do that, just to kind of see what's going on in a skein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's some real blue purple in there, and then there's some lavender, there's some eggplant, there's like every shade of purple that you can imagine.
It's got a really pretty kind of pink undertone to it too.
Yeah, and the same thing with the green.
I love the brightness of this one.
Yeah, like there's some segments in here that are like highlighter green, and then others that are more asparagus. Yeah. It's just really the number of colors in here I think are going to make the knitted thing, whatever it is, have a lot of density and texture to it.
Yeah.
Let me twist these two together.
That's right. You like to do that, don't you?
I do. Just think, isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so what are you going to make?
I don't know. What about? I mean, we could do a hot shawl.
Yeah, I'm thinking. There's that that faded sweater. Too. So wouldn't this look nice if you did a sweater and you did dark on the bottom and light on the top?
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Yeah. I mean,
we're gonna have to play.
Yeah.
So
definitely a hot shawl would be really nice too. You could put this in the center panel, the lace panel, put the purple on top and the green on the bottom.
Or you could have your your purple on top.
Yes, because it's the main color. And
you don't have to buy these in threes either. We're putting them online individually.
Right.
So you can pick whatever you like.
But you're going to want to buy them in threes. It's just that kind of combo. Kim, you do a fabulous job.
Thank you, Kim.
I'm always excited to see the colors. We'll add some photos of these yarns too, so you can see them nice and close up on the podcast. And these will go out
too. This is great merino that she uses.
Yes, it is. These will go out on August the 20th. They're part of our Flashmob monthly, and so August the 20th at 6 p.m. Get queued up to get your
Did you
first
tell
pick.
everyone the name of this one?
I didn't.
Okay.
You go ahead and do that.
This one is called Sisterhood. So perfect name, right?
Yes.
Kind of a combination of Cynthia and Barb.
Yes. That's so nice. Oh, lovely. So we'll have to maybe have to have to come up with some ideas for what would be nice in the trio combo.
Well, all you have to do is go on Ravelry and Google, find your fave.
That's true. That's very true.
And a million patterns pop up. There's so many now. I mean, look at the ones too that Richard brought last month. He had that one called Timeless.
Yes.
That was really pretty. Suzanne knit that.
Yes.
And it looks amazing. Timeless is this crescent shawl, and it's got little waves where they used mini skeins to pop in a color here
almost
and
like
there.
Leaves, like they get narrow and then they go wide and narrow again. Yeah, that would look so nice.
And not to segue, but I'm going to segue. I was looking at Justina Lorkowska's patterns this week.
Yes.
And Martin's Lab Yarn.
Yes.
Her husband's yarn company. And there's some beautiful shawls like that on that website too.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be really nice then. We could take our birthday yarn, celebrate sisterhood, and do a Justina Lorkowska pattern.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a plan.
All right.
So since you segued into Justina, do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay. Because you've been doing some long distance correspondence.
Yes.
Over the last couple of weeks.
With Martin, or I think his name is Marcin, Marcin. But yet his company is called Martin's. So I'm sure
it's the English equivalent.
Polish pronunciation there.
Let me fix that label for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm making an assumption that he's Polish. I don't know. Anyways, we've been chatting about his yarn company and getting some of his yarn and Justina's books shipped to us from Poland, which, by the way, is no easy feat. Holy.
Yeah, we're trying to get everything here for the Knit for Fun retreat,
right,
which happens at the end of October here in Edmonton.
It seems like I'm always working about 4 months in advance.
Yes.
To get things all coordinated. But very interesting dyer.
Yes.
Has a different palette than a lot of other dyers.
Oh, so what's your observation around that?
Well, I love his colors. They're, ones that I don't see here in Canada as much. Mm-hmm. So it does have a bit of a European flair to the colorings.
Right.
And some of the shades, I'm trying to put them together, to make combinations.
Yes.
And there's some real beauty to his some intensity to some of the colors that he's got. They're really pretty.
Yeah.
I love the semi-solids. And so it's hard to pick is, I guess, the bottom line with that. I'm trying to figure out what colors to bring in and how many. And that's really, really tough. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been looking at projects on Ravelry to see what kind of combinations Justina's put into her pattern choices for Martin's Lab yarns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that gets you down a long rabbit hole, doesn't it? Because you start looking through Ravelry and then get sidetracked. Mm-hmm. I do, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So we can expect some Martin's Lab to be here.
Hopefully, yeah. If everything...
For the Knit for Fun retreat.
If all the stars align and the circles align. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So, Cynthia, we have some new yarns to talk about too, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So
every week, it seems like a new yarn or two will start to come in at this time of the year. We've placed our fall orders months ago. Sometimes I even forget what we've ordered. But the new yarns start to come in, and it's pretty fun when a new box comes in and we get to open it up.
This is the biggest part of your job is, buying product for the store and making sure we have enough for people who want to do sweater projects and people who don't want to use the yarn for knitting. You were working with a local group just recently. They wanted some yarn to do wall hangings. And so, you can use yarn for everything. It's not just a knitting thing, right?
Yes, that's true. And there's so many different fibers. We want to try and have a really good range here in our shop. So it's a full-time job. It really is. Yeah.
So you brought in a new yarn from Manos. So tell us about Manos and tell us about this yarn.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll talk about kind of why I chose this yarn, but why don't you chat a little bit about Manos, like the company?
Yeah, well, Manos del Uruguay is a collective company in Uruguay.
Mm-hmm.
They're a fair trade company, and they provide employment for women who wouldn't otherwise be employed, I think.
Yeah.
And they enable these women to work from their home, which is really nice. So Serpentina, this one, has a nice story behind it.
It does.
Yeah.
So this one is hand-dyed and hand-spun. So, that's another reason why I love this. Hand-spinning yarn just gives it an incredible texture. And you can see pieces of it are really thin, pieces are thick, pieces are tightly spun, other pieces are very loosely spun. So when you knit it together into a project, it has such a unique look. You can tell a hand-spun sweater from 20 feet away. You can just see it.
That's a good thing.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
I love hand-spun yarn.
Yeah.
And so when I saw this, I thought, oh, we have to get this. And then the other thing about hand spinning is you can get all these colors into your strand in different proportions.
Right. So the colors are spun into it's not dyed afterwards. It's spun this way.
Right into the yarn.
Yeah. So every skein, even in the same colorway, every skein is going to be a little bit different.
So Manos has lots of patterns. You can go on their website and check out all the patterns that they have for this yarn. But when I saw this, I thought, oh, can you imagine doing like, a little hat or gumdrop mittens and using a solid color with this one and having the colors pop out?
Yeah, that'd be gorgeous.
So pretty.
Yeah. And then there's a certification on their tag that says that they are a fair trade organization, and then the name of the person who created this yarn is written on the tag, and that's really nice.
And the area that she came from, and apparently you can look this person up on their website and actually see who she is.
Oh, that's really nice.
Isn't that cool?
It's such a great story.
Yeah.
And the yarn feels like
amazing.
Well, if you could spin marshmallow, this is kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
And the colors are really pretty. So we just brought out 5 skeins. We have probably 10 or 12 colorways.
I think I might have bought them all. But we didn't buy a lot. I think we just bought a bag of each. So if you want to try hand spun this fall, come in and get it now. A lot of our yarns we buy one time. We just buy them to try out and to bring something new and special. And when they're gone, they're gone.
Yep. And I would definitely make a hat out of this. It's 100% wool. There's 142 yards or 130 meters. And they're recommending working it at a worsted gauge. So on a 4.5 to 5 millimeter needle. So make a lovely hat.
A lovely hat.
Yeah. Or mittens or a cowl, something nice and cozy to wear around your neck when the weather starts to turn cool again. Yeah.
And, they also said that the name for this yarn, Serpentina, means colored streamers, I think it is, in Spanish.
Yeah. So it's like a party tool.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a real happy yarn. It's meant to celebrate festivals, and it's named after their party streamers that they use.
That's so nice.
Look at
this would go nice with the Classica. We have Manos del Uruguay and Classica, don't we?
We used to.
Oh.
We don't have that anymore, but
okay.
We have Marina.
Okay.
Which is also, very soft and unspun. Not like a hand spun. It gives you more of a regular spin.
And
I just wanted to point out the green in this skein. It's mostly blues, but there's this beautiful
seaweed.
chartreuse.
This reminds me of the ocean, right?
Doesn't
You've got the blue, the teals and the blues, and then you've got this little bit of seaweed in there, algae.
Yeah.
It goes really nicely together.
Such a pretty colorway.
Yes.
This one's called, just in case anybody wants to get this one, Amelia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if this is Frida.
Frida.
And
doesn't this look like Frida?
Yeah.
The South American
Mexican artist.
Oh, right.
We might have different images in mind.
Touches of political.
This one's Mother Teresa. I wonder if they're named after famous women. This is Patrona. Well, now we're going to have to go through the box and just look at all the labels, Barb.
We are.
Yeah.
And this one?
This one is Gabriella.
Yes, so they're named after women, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. You should keep this one loose. It just feels so good.
I think I might just have to pop this one in my knitting bag. I love this one.
Yes.
Maybe I love
Purples
it
and
because
greens.
it's like our colors.
Amethyst and peridot. Yeah.
Now, I wonder, could you do something together?
Well, you could. You might have to double strand this to kind of get the same gauge. Or maybe you do something like those scribble scarves. Remember those?
Yes.
Where you work with a really thin yarn for one row and a really thick yarn for the other. And the thick yarn looks like it's suspended.
Okay, for those of you who are out, searching Ravelry all day, every day, see if you can find us a pattern for something that would use like a skein of thick hand spun and fingering yarn.
That looks amazing together. Yeah. You'll knit it?
I'll knit it.
All right, there's a challenge.
There we go. I love this. Don't you love that?
I do. That looks really nice together.
Okay.
There's a bit of yellow in there too. It's really pretty.
Oh, it's summery.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
So what else?
So you also got from Manos some...
yes, I just didn't stop at one yarn. No. Okay.
So this is
Roving.
Yeah.
So Manos also makes Roving, and I brought some in because we sell so much of this. This can be used for hand spinning, or it can be used for thrummed mittens or needle felting. The uses are endless.
Yeah.
But what we sell a lot of in our shop are thrummed mittens. And so I just thought, this is so neat. You could just pull it off, and these make little thrums. And then
you knit into your mittens.
You knit them into your mittens. And because it's such a beautiful quality merino, when you stick your hand inside the mitten, it feels like a cloud. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. So we thought we would bring you we thought it would be kind of fun to open a bag of this on podcast
camera,
because this is how it comes to us. Here, I'll take that from you.
Okay.
And then Barb takes that bag out of the box and she makes this little squealing noise. Like, oh! And then she pops open the bag and the fiber kind of poofs out of the bag.
I
the
know
bags
this is
are
gonna be
taped
loud.
up really tight. All right.
I said to Cynthia, shouldn't we do this before we get on the camera with the mic? Oh no, she said, that's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So as soon as the air gets in the bag, the yarn starts to puff out. And then when you take it out of the bag.
One more.
There we go.
Okay, this is how it comes.
So that's a bundle. Yeah.
And inside here are 5
Braids.
separate braids of roving.
Like this. Yep. And then we take the braids and we say, how are we going to display this in the store?
Right.
Should we display it like this? Should we wrap it up into a little, shell? Should we take it out of the braid and put it into a ball? The possibilities are endless, yeah. But all the while we're touching this gorgeous merino fiber.
Yeah.
And just, it's like, how can you not say, oh. Oh.
And this is one of the fibers that I laugh about, things coming in and out, but truly we put it out and within a week it's gone.
For sure.
It's just so colorful. So this is called like a binder cord, and this is what's holding this together. It's a cord like this. And it sticks in here because this is fiber.
Yeah.
You have to pull it apart. But this is what's inside. There's 5 of these braids.
And then Sabrina, Barb's daughter, likes to walk around with that on her head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she does wear that on her head, kind of like.
Yeah. It's her Rasta look. Yeah.
It's fun.
Her Rastafarian look.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's even if you don't spin, it's just kind of nice to have one of these balls of fiber. So as Barb said, you could make this into a felted project, or one of these. I think these are 100-gram skeins. Yes. So one 100-gram skein or braid will make 2 pairs of ladies' size mittens. If you're making them for a guy, you might need a little bit more to finish off the second mitten.
Have you spun with this personally yourself?
I have spun merino. I haven't spun this. We used to get the Fleece Artist merino in, and I've spun that one.
And how do you find spinning merino?
It's really nice, especially this. It's not so packed together. It's lovely and gorgeous, and it just kind of glides into your.
Do you think you could make yarn like this?
Well, maybe, but it would take me so much time.
Yeah.
It would take a long time, and so it's kind of nice that all the work has been done for you in these skeins.
Yeah, and you can just spin with hand spun, ready to go.
Yeah. And know that you're contributing to someone else's economy. Another woman like yourself in another place who's supporting herself and her family by.
So do these have the tags too? They do.
They do. Yeah. All of Manos del Uruguay's yarns come with a tag like this. So, and it's either the dyer or the spinner or the person who had a hand in creating this. Yeah. So it's just such a lovely story and such a beautiful yarn. Their colors are really, really pretty. Yeah. All right, and we have some more yarn to talk about.
Yeah. We have been talking a lot the past month about yarn that comes from Canada. In fact, yarn that comes from Alberta.
Yeah.
And so we talked about, we have a local mill in Alberta, in southern Alberta, called Carstairs Woolen Mill.
Custom Woolen Mills.
Custom Woolen Mills.
In Carstairs, Alberta. Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. And so we have a couple of their yarns. We bring in this one called Prairie Sea Fusion. It's a nice big cone. And this yarn was developed in consultation with Custom Woolen Mills and Sylvia Olson.
Yeah, so Sylvia Olson is a woman who lives on the West Coast, and she's written a couple of books. This one's probably the most popular one, called Knitting Stories. This one, so what Sylvia Olson does is gathers up the stories of the Indigenous people who knit the Cowichan style or Salish coast sweaters. You know, those ones with the thunderbirds on them and the whales and the waves and everything. And so she's gone and talked to all kinds of people, lived amongst them, and has written down their stories for you to read. And then in this book, she's also included several patterns. And in order to develop the patterns, she needed to develop a consistent yarn source, because these sweaters were originally hand-spun yarns and then knit by the people who lived along the coast of Western Canada and the U.S. And so she worked with Custom Woolen Mills here in Alberta to create a yarn that they're calling Sea Fusion.
Right.
So it's a combination of the peoples along the sea coast and our Prairie mill.
You know, I can imagine that those people took the wool from the sheep, washed it, carded it, cleaned it, spun it, and knit it. And, you just can't do that today, right? I mean,
well, you can, but again, just imagine the time and the labor that goes into that, and then to try and sell that sweater and get anything more than pennies against your time. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So what Sylvia does now, she has a company called Salish Fusion, and they actually have an online store, and they have a walk-in store in BC, and she will sell you products that have been handmade in the local area, and the wool that they use is this one from Custom Woolen Mills. But if you want to knit your own designs and not have to spin the yarn, you can buy the Sea Fusion yarn, and you can buy this book, and you can put them together to create. She's got hats, she's got a skirt, she's got a sweater, scarves, and they all combine this kind of rustic yarn with the geometric so mostly geometric designs of the Coast Salish people.
And I think it's her take on it too, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of an updated, modern take on those designs. She has a poncho that's really pretty. This vest, this vest is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The skirts fit really well too. She's got, I think, 1 or 2 skirts in this book, and a number of our customers have made them. They look beautiful.
Yeah.
I think people who don't even like to wear skirts are wearing skirts just because of this pattern.
Right.
So,
and then interspersed in this book are stories of the people who actually, created this beautiful knitting tradition to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's lovely.
So we're really happy to be able to have some of this yarn. This yarn is available right at the beginning of the season. They bring in all of the wool and make it at custom woolen mills right from the beginning of the process through to the yarn being made. So it's a mill that does it all, as opposed to just doing different portions of the spinning and cleaning.
Right. So all the sheep that have contributed to this fleece come from Alberta and maybe a little bit into Saskatchewan, and it's a cooperative. So all the fleece gets dumped into the same vat, and it gets spun, mixed up and spun together. Yeah. So the colors that are available are all natural colors. You can get cream. You can get a fusion or a blend of creams and browns together.
I think this one is kind of like a light gray.
Yeah.
There's a medium gray, a dark brown.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want some of this yarn and you're not in our local area, you can't come into the store to see it, you will need to give us a call or send us an email, and we'll send you a picture of what's available, and then you can pick from that. This one's interesting too. So this one's called
Mule Spinner. Right.
Yeah.
And you know about my love affair with Rambouillet.
Right.
Okay, well, this is their version. They have...
is this Rambouillet?
There is Rambouillet and Merino in here. It says 100% natural wool. They don't actually say that on the label, what type of wool, because it really depends. It's whatever comes in from the farms that they've got. But I know that there's a good percentage of Rambouillet in this shipment. I talked to the ladies at Custom Woolen Mills when I ordered this. So we've been playing with this in our dye class, and I love it because of the hand-spun nature of this. The machinery that they use is from the 1800s, and so it's impossible to get a real consistent spin on your yarn. And so I love the way the dye sinks into this yarn and absorbs in different ways because of the different spin.
Yes. So this is a 2-ply yarn. So that it has been plied, but Barb's exactly right. In some places you're going to have more twist, in other places less. So the singles that have gone into this are thick and thin, and that gives you a really nice texture. But it's not overspun either, so it's still nice and soft. And the yarn definitely, like you say, has a hand spun look and feel to it. Yeah. And then you'll still find little bits of vegetation in it as well.
I know, it's so cool.
That those little bits of straw are just impossible to get out, and the wool just grabs onto it. So as you're knitting with it, if you find it, you can pull it out. But that's just part of the authenticity of this yarn. If you're looking for something that's homegrown, this is it. That's a sign, yeah.
And it's nice that we've got this. We are so lucky to be able to have this mill here in Alberta and in Canada. There's so few of them left in the world.
It's a really expensive undertaking. You can imagine if you wanted to put up a mill, you'd have to buy all the spinning equipment, and then you'd have to have the technical people on hand to fix it when it breaks down, because something's going to go on something somewhere at some time, right? And then you have to start, taking in all that fleece from all those farmers and sorting it and cleaning it and scouring it. I mean, it's a
big job.
It's a big job, a huge investment. So it's no wonder that, there aren't that many mills. It's a big undertaking, and so we really do need to support those that are trying to keep their businesses going.
Yeah, and what a lovely yarn to knit with. So if you get a chance, come on in and pick some of this up.
Right.
Mule Spinner yarns and knit with real authentic Alberta yarn.
That's really nice. All right.
Okay.
So Barb, we've been talking a lot about what I call protein fibers.
Wool.
Yeah. But you've got a special guest coming to the store that specializes in vegan fibers. Yeah.
We've talked probably about this yarn before. The company is called Trailhead Yarns, and they're in Ottawa. It's run by Sam, and I believe her mom, Carol, is her salesperson, marketing person. They're both so much fun. I had the pleasure of being with them at the National Needlework Association show where they had a booth, and they are just a ton of fun, and they're coming here to our shop in September.
Great. So they're going to come for our knit night.
Yeah. Carol's always wanted to come to our knit night. I think she follows us on our podcast.
Aww.
And,
Hi, Carol.
And so she wants to come and knit with us. We do a Thursday night knit night, and then we convinced her to bring samplings of Sam's yarn that she dyes. I think there's linen, cottons. She's got silks. There's tencel, and I'm hoping that they're going to bring a little sampling of each one of those with
that'll
them.
be really nice. Yeah, because we do carry their linen.
We do
in the shop. Yeah, and this is I brought a few skeins down off the wall. So these are some blues, and then I brought in. I love this pink.
Oh, isn't it pretty?
And I have to say, having dyed a little bit myself, what completely blew me away with these Trailhead yarns is the fact that they could get the linen to take the color in such a saturated way.
Yeah.
I've never, I mean, Louette does it as well. They have beautiful saturated colors in their linen. But Trailhead does the hand dyed. So it's not just hot pink. There's light pink, and there's flamingo pink, and there's some gold in here as well, which just makes the whole skein kind of pop.
And I don't know a lot about dyeing, plant-based fibers, but I've heard that it takes, some pretty special dye and some pretty special skill in order to get it to look good, right?
Yeah, I totally imagine that would be the case. So it would be really cool to talk to them when they come here, to talk to Sam and ask her a little bit about how she manages to get the colors so vivid.
Right.
And then we should talk a little bit about linen. I had a customer call me this week, and she said she bought some linen, and she was wondering if we had anything really soft to put with it. And so we had this really nice conversation on the phone, and I said to her, it's the linen will get softer. When you first pick it up, it just feels really
got a
crunchy.
Real crispness to it.
Yeah. And you feel like you're working with hemp and not linen because it is so crunchy. But then the more that you work with it and the more that you wear it, the softer it feels. So I said to this woman on the phone, I'm actually wearing linen here in the store today. I mean, I'm not wearing it right now, but I was wearing it that day.
Yeah.
And it just feels so nice on a hot day like today. Now, my top has been through the washing machine and the dryer several times, and I've taken my iron to it just to flatten it out a little bit. But those are kind of the things I love about linen. One is that it gets softer, and B is that once you have pressed it, if you are pressing it, you can then roll it up into a ball, chuck it into your suitcase, travel to some other place, more than 24 hours, take it out of your suitcase and wave it in the air and put it on, and it's not wrinkled. I swear it just falls out of the bag and it's ready to wear. So I do love that about linen. I have 3 things made of linen.
Well, we talked, I think you should knit something with linen every season.
Yes.
So that you can build it up, because it's such a long-lasting fabric.
Yes. Yeah.
This, I feel, too, is softer from the dyeing process as well.
Could be.
Probably each time it gets dyed or processed, it gets softer, too.
Yes.
So, mark these dates in your calendar. I think it's September 12th to 14th.
I was going to say 14th, 15th. Well, you know what? Let me look.
Okay.
Let me look on my calendar here.
We're going to start on a Thursday. And Sam is the dyer. Carol is her mom. And they're both going to be here.
Right.
At River City Yarns.
So Thursday is the 13th of September, and then the 14th and the 15th are the Friday and Saturday.
Right.
So those are the dates to mark in your calendar. We'll have some more information on our events page as well. That's just rivercityyarns.com/events. We'll put some more details on that. Yeah, I'm really
at
looking
this.
forward to it. Yeah, I was admiring all the speckling and and it has a real nice marbled look to it.
So pretty.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a close up on this one.
Yes, we'll take some close up pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one too is a beautiful shipwreck. It's one of our more popular ones because of the different shades of grays.
Yeah, and then there's a bit of gold in there too. It's like which gives it a nice lift, so it's not
Trailhead yarns.
Yeah. Good. And then we're getting ready to go back to school, and we're stocking up our book collection as well. So Barb gave me a list of some new books that are some new and some not so new, but we haven't had for a little while, and we've been trying to fill in that hole in the bookshelf.
Yeah.
So let's start with that one. You brought back this book.
That's right. This is our favorite sock book, bar none. So this is Ann Budd's Get Started Knitting Socks, and it talks all about socks and how to knit them.
Right.
And it's kind of our Bible for sock knitting. So we had to bring that one back in stock.
Yes. So if you want to learn to knit socks, or you know how to knit socks, but you want to learn to knit them better or differently, this is the book for you. And Anne is coming here in October. And so if you get this book, you can get it signed.
Yeah.
Nora Gone collection.
Yes. So I've kind of been following knit.wear and Nora Gone. And Nora Gone, has been designing sweaters forever. She was with Barocco for many, many years, and now she's on her own. So this is a new book that I was able to get a few copies of and brought it into the store.
Wool Studio. So I'm guessing everything in here is made out of wool.
Probably. Or a blend.
There's some gorgeous sweater designs and a beautiful scarf.
Nora has a way of designing. I used to be inspired a lot by nature, and I don't see that that's really changed. But her pieces are beautiful. You can see, cables that look like rivers and stitch patterns that look like rocks. And I know she's been inspired by flowers. And
this is really nice.
It's a beautiful book.
Yeah. So if you want some accessories and garments for you, this is a great book to have. Oh, and this looks like fun.
Well, we always get asked for books on crochet. So we pumped up our crochet books this fall.
I don't think this is crochet though, Barb. Is it? Oh, it is. I'm sorry.
So this is a fun book. This is Edward's Menagerie, and they actually had a booth at the National Needle Show where they had all these creatures on display. It was a lot of fun, and they're animals, and this other book is birds. It's all different kinds of birds that you can make.
That's really cool.
So much fun. Yeah.
Oh, and I this wasn't on your list, but I pulled it out anyway because I was really captivated by this one.
Well, we only have 3 copies of that book, so it may or may not be available when you're ready for it. But yeah, my crochet doll, isn't that cute?
It's adorable.
There's a few of those books back there that you should take a look at. We do have a few more copies of the next one, though. This is Crochet Loom Blooms. This is really a lot of fun. There's even a little loom in the back of the book to get you started. So this is a great thing to do if you've been making dishcloths or tea towels, or if you have a little supply of cotton or linen at home. Try making some of these little blooms. They're really a fun project. You can put them all together and make them into trivets or blankets or coasters.
Yeah, I could give you into a blanket. They're really pretty.
Yeah. There's another book that we carry that has a lot of home decor pieces that are done with crocheted motifs. It's called Boho Crochet, and it's really a nice book.
Right.
It gives you lots of ideas about what you can do to put the motifs together. But this next book, Crochet Kaleidoscope, is a book that has 100 different motif patterns in it. So again, along that same line where you can make motifs and put them together.
Oh, that's nice.
A great reference book for doing that.
Right. And, some of the benefits of crochet over knitting are that it's quicker.
Oh, it's so fast.
It's a lot quicker. And then the nice thing about motifs is that you can, just take a few little things with you for the weekend come home with a basket full of finished squares, and you just have to put them together.
I love the idea too of doing crochet with linen or cotton. I find that, sometimes knitting with cotton, a top or something, you can find that it stretches a little bit just because the cotton doesn't have much elasticity or no elasticity.
Right.
But doing crocheted motifs with cotton or linen is a little different. You can go down into a smaller hook size, make something that tends to hold its shape better, and bags, things like that, cotton table runners. You can have lots of fun and make beautiful projects with crocheting in cottons or linens.
And then we talked about this book, I think, before, but it's worth bringing back in again. It
just came in. I had one copy that I brought home in my suitcase.
Yes.
But Kate's book finally came in the big shipment. We had a huge shipment of books arrive here. We generally buy once or twice a year a big book order. And so this one came in. And so now we have lots of copies. So if anybody wants this mitten book, give us a shout. We can ship it out to you or hold it for you.
Yes, and I think this book, you shouldn't buy alone. You should pair it up with some of these ones that are coming up because you can make your mittens really cool.
Yeah, Mary Jane Mucklestone has 2 books that we've had in our shop before, but we wanted to bring them back because they're so popular. These are books that are all about making motifs, either Scandinavian or Fair Isle. And if anybody likes color knitting, like I do, you want to get this book. This is a super reference book.
Right.
So to give you ideas and inspiration on different colors to put together, different patterns to make, to knit, and you can have a lot of fun embellishing, the brim of a hat or the cuff of a mitten. You can become your own designer with reference books like this. So we love reference books.
I have both of these books at home, and I like to use them for Christmas stockings.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, you can pick out your own motif, for little Christmas. Dancing girls or Irish elk. This one, though, I don't have. What's this one about?
And I don't have that one either, and I haven't had a chance to flip it through it too much. But this is called Alternate. It's a stitch dictionary from Andrea Rangel, and I know it's a popular book. I haven't had a chance to go through it.
Yeah, I'm cracking the cover, so this might be my book.
Crack the cover.
Yeah.
This one is kind of the same. I don't know too much about this book either.
You just like the title of it.
Knit Like a Latvian. Doesn't that sound great? 50 knitting patterns for a fresh take on traditional Latvian mittens. So I know about Latvian gloves, and there's Latvian wedding socks, and the Latvians have done a lot of
I think they're known
pieces.
for breaking the rules around how many colors you can have per row.
Oh, okay.
So part of the fun of doing something Latvian inspired is that you're going to be using lots of color and maybe more than 2 colors per row. And then back to this book, this one here, The Alternates. It's a motif dictionary, kind of like Mary Jane Mucklestone's, only it's very new. So instead of being traditional, it's really modern.
Modern motifs.
Yeah, yeah. So she's got some really, really interesting motifs in this book, and I think this is definitely something we're gonna have to put in our libraries as well. This is really cool, and I have another book. I think I have the Estonian mitten book and the Estonian sock book. Remember those ones that we brought in? So this would be lovely. You don't have to be Latvian to appreciate all the color work that's in here. But there's some gorgeous
Looks like there's some black and white patterns in there too, Cynthia.
Yeah, but see here's a black and white one with a red dot in the middle. So you've got red, black, and white all along the same line. So you may have a slightly thicker glove than you would otherwise if you're carrying that third color along. But I think this is something that we're going to have to... I mean, those of us who live in these northern climates can really appreciate how how beautiful it is to wear a warm mitten and something that really, kind of catches the eye when you go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And, I don't know about you, but I think it's time for all of us to pick up a new skill. And knitting color is a great thing to do.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, take a workshop at your local yarn shop on stranded color work, knitting with color. It's so much fun to be able to hold one yarn in one hand and one in the other and create essentially pictures with your knitting.
Yeah.
And how much fun is that? So if you're ready for it, move on.
Yeah.
I challenge you to take the step into color knitting. It's a world of fun, I find.
You're absolutely right, and you don't have to be a beginner either, or someone who hasn't done color work before. Because we went to Chicago and we took a class with Mary Jane Mucklestone on stranded color work, and we learned new things.
You can, the day that you think that you know it all, that's the day someone will show you a new technique. It's so true.
That's right. She challenged us to strand a little bit longer than I was comfortable with, and the result was a much nicer looking piece of color work. So, so that's really good. So take a color work class, buy a color work book,
get inspired.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about classes, right? Is that you go in and you start a project, and then you're inspired to finish it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just picking up another project and maybe you'll get it done, right?
Yeah.
So taking a class sometimes isn't always about learning new things as much as it is about getting motivated and keeping on track, and you always learn something new. Anyway. Okay.
Well, I think that's about it, Cynthia. I think that's kind of wraps us up for today.
Oh, no. We have Flora's cap to show off.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
We have this segment in our newsletters for any of you who get our newsletters or you like to read them. It's called... what's the section called?
Make mine to go.
Make mine to go. That's right. So we have a section in our newsletter that's all about kits, something quick that you can come in and pick up in the store to make a project with, or something that you can have us ship out to you. So this is Flora's cap. I've been wanting to make this hat for years. That looks so good on you. I love it. Look at the slouch. That's really pretty.
You put yours on. Okay. Yeah, this is a Church Mouse Yarns and Tea design
pattern. Yeah.
And we have a couple of angels who help us with our sample knitting, and these ones were knit by Wendy. And we'll
Wendy.
We'll insert a little. We taped a little excerpt with Wendy about knitting these hats and
we
the
asked
yarns
her
that we used.
A few questions about her experience knitting Flora's cap as a pattern. And
so we'll add that on to the end of the video so you can watch that too.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear from the actual people who make the product.
Right? Yeah.
Their experience. Yeah. These ones are blends of yarn though. So we're using two yarns here. Cynthia's hat is done out of a skein of Pebble and Silk Cloud from Shibui. And mine is done out of Lang, a new yarn called Cash Soft Baby, and Lang Lace, which is actually mohair and silk yarn held together. So they both have mohair in them. They're both soft and really beautiful.
Yeah, and we talk about the yarn compositions in the little video. So we'll leave that for later. But
try one. Make a Flora's cap. They're really nice.
Good. Okay. Have a wonderful month, everybody. We will announce some winners for our last. We asked you last time to tell us about your favorite color and what's on your needles, and so we will pick a couple of people to win a prize, and we'll put that announcement at the end of our podcast. This month, we're just going to ask people to do a little bit of research and find out if there's a project that they think would work really nicely with the Serpentina and our Flashmob. So that's the worsted weight and fingering weight yarns.
Yeah, a pattern where you can combine different weights of yarn. Maybe, if I can be so specific as to ask for an accessory as opposed to a full-length sweater or coat.
Aha, she's starting to think about that.
Yeah, my commitment to sweaters.
To knitting it, yeah.
Anyways, if you find a small little project that you think would be great for a fat skein of yarn and a fingering weight, let me know. I'd love to take a peek at it.
Yeah. And otherwise, just keep leaving comments. We love to read your stories, and we love to hear about you as well. So
I try and read them all, and Cynthia answers them all.
We try. All right. Have a wonderful month, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cynthia, we're here today with Wendy, and she's been doing some knitting for us. We've been playing around with Flora's cap from Churchmouse.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
You should explain to everybody who Wendy is.
Yes.
'Cause she's special.
Wendy's very special. Wendy's agreed to do some knitting for us at the shop. So we're just working through, we meet once a week, and we talk about the projects that we want Wendy to knit. And then she goes home and she does this for us. She makes swatches. Okay, this is the thing that everybody dreads, but this is so important. Wendy made these for us, and based on these, and how long, Wendy, would you say it took you to knit up this swatch? 20 minutes maybe? Half an hour?
Maybe half an hour. I don't know.
Half
I
an
don't like it's very fast.
Right.
Yeah, very fast.
So based on the swatch and then washing it, Wendy knew that she needed to change her needle size.
And it was not, because it actually said in the pattern to not take the measurements until after it's been washed, because the seed stitch can often stretch,
Right.
which I didn't know. So
And that's what happened.
and that's what happened on the
Right.
one, although it didn't with this one.
Right.
That one stayed the same. And I don't know if because it's a lighter weight yarn, I don't know. Anyhow, so I was able to use the same needle size as the swatch for the hat.
So that's interesting because the pebble contains 48% recycled silk. So almost half of it is silk.
So maybe because silk is very strong,
Right.
it doesn't have the same stretch as the cashmere.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's got to be
Yeah.
it. It's almost, I feel like cashmere is a little bit like alpaca that way too.
Okay.
In that it's a little softer, and so it doesn't have the same strength that silk would have.
Do you hear that up? You hear
Yeah.
that noise? That's people upstairs getting ready for the drop-in knitting. They're moving chairs around. Yeah. So put on the hat bar. Show us these finished samples. So this is Flora's cap.
This is Flora's cap, and I've always been wanting to make this one because it's just the perfect little hat, to wear in the fall, or even, I guess, even in summer too, depending on what the weather's like.
Right.
And it's just a perfect little snuggly, like little...
Right. So the one you're wearing right now, what's that made out of?
This is one skein of pebble and one skein of silk cloud by
From
Shibui.
Shibui. Yeah, so there's the pebble.
That's these yarns right here.
Right.
Silk cloud
Yeah.
and pebble.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely feel. It's very drapey too. I have to tell you, Wendy, I prefer this one
Because of the drape.
because of the drape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the slouchiness, the soft feel of it.
So put the other one on for
Okay.
It makes me think of the 20s.
Doesn't it?
somehow,
It's
right?
kind of- yeah. That roaring
Just needs
20
that little
flapper. We can put a little flower or something on it. So this is the other one.
Yeah.
My hair's probably all messed up, but
That's all right.
Cute.
Yeah.
do you like that?
That color looks really nice on you.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it brings out the pink tones in your skin.
Ah,
Well, that's really, so that one's made out of?
this one's done out of a new yarn that we just brought in, Lang Cash Soft Baby. So we had to use 2 of these because
Balls?
Yes,
the
and that because
meterage.
I did 2 swatches and I had 1.6 grams left.
Oh, okay.
So
After
I
the
was
swatches.
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the swatches in the hat.
Yeah.
This one's a little thicker than the pebble, but it's still a 25 gram skein.
But 2 of them.
But 2 of them, yeah.
So almost 50. Yeah. So I think it was
So-
almost 37 grams for the hat, and this was 37 grams of this for the hat and 20 grams of this for the hat.
Ah.
Yeah.
And so as
So-
a knitter,
Yeah.
which one did you like making the best?
Well, they both have nice features. Like I love the softness of the one that Barb is wearing, but I love I love the drape of this. Like it's just so fluid, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because I wear hats more in the winter, I would be more inclined to use that combination just
Right.
because that's
A little heavier.
it's a little heavier and it would give me the warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've done a super job, Wendy. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is great. I can hardly wait to put these out on the floor and show them to folks.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, Cynthia. Hey, I'm here in our warehouse, and we just got this big shipment of yarn in from Handmaiden, and so I just wanted to show you what's arrived. Here, I'm just going to open up the box. You know, everybody's asking us about working in a yarn shop. This is one of the most fun things is when yarn comes in. Look at this mountain of yarn behind me. All of our fall orders seem to come in at the same time, so there's going to be a lot of excitement here in the back office. Anyways, I wanted to show you what's in here. I'm going to carefully open this box. Okay, have a peek in here. We just got a shipment of Zambezi. Now, this is dyed in colorways for River City Yarns. Zambezi is kid mohair and silk, and there are 1,000 meters on here. This is a gold mine for blending. The colors are just amazing. This is River. Here we have Myrrh. Oh my God, I forget. I think this is either silver or relic. This one's relic. Oh my God, that's pretty. Wood lily. What's that? What else is in here? Oh my gosh. This one's Temptation. This is just a blend of reds and burgundies and the prettiest. Look at this turquoise. This matches the turquoise in Amos, one of our other yarns. All right, and then let's see what else we have in here. Thrummed Mitten kits. These are the funnest thing ever. You get yarn and roving to go along with it to make a set of thrummed mittens. Last but not least, new gradient packs from Handmaiden. So this is our Eden base with 5 colorways that have been hand painted by Handmaiden, and this is our base is the same as their Casbah 5-ply. So this is a merino cashmere nylon, and we got restocked in our colors on this. So there's a little video for you about what just came in.